All right, next beer. All right, listen, I grabbed this. This is my favorite one. I have not had this. I hadn't had any of these, to be fair. But I'm walking down the aisle, and all I see is a blue can that says sports. And the first thing I think is, man, that really
Shout out Sports Drink.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. That really looks like something Sports Drink would put out. It's like a sports drink. It says Glacial Frost. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this? I don't even know if this is local.
Even the can feels like an energy drink can. You know what I mean? Like, it's got that weird feel to it. It doesn't feel like a can of beer.
Here's my favorite thing. Look at the bottom, and this scares me. I'm not going to lie. Blue raspberry, electrolyte-infused sports beer. So can I work out or play like a game and then down this beer, and it's going to replenish me?
This beer feels like it might have been made for a slow-pitch softball league.
Yes. Just in case you couldn't hear me. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Yo, welcome back to the Who Effin' Knows podcast, season 2, episode Who Effin' Knows. I'm going to be honest, I lost it at this point. I have no idea. Patty V, Dave Rainey. You'll probably see a special guest to my left. We have, we're going to call him Jacob. Jake. We'll call him Jake. Making his I guess his introduction or making his first appearance into the podcasting world. But you guys might know him from a few other places. You've probably seen him before on Instagram's probably the biggest place, Twitter as well, formerly Saints Nations. Now he's going by Big Easy Nation. He's here. He wants to get into podcasting. We're going to talk some stuff. He knows his Saints. Fun facts, some things you might not know. He also knows his Pels. He knows a few other sports as well. He's a big-time LSU fan. So there's a lot of things that this guy brings to the table. But happy to have him tonight. Say hello, my man.
Yep, happy to be here.
How you doing?
Good.
Heck yeah. Well, we're happy to dive into some things. We're going to talk about Saints, obviously. We'll probably talk a little bit of random other things. You know how we are. I have no idea. I have things written down. Dave, you got any topics you want to talk about tonight?
Maybe.
Yeah?
Maybe.
What about you, Jake? No?
Go whatever.
Just roll with it.
Yep, roll with it. Yep.
Cool. But what we're going to start with tonight, we made the mistake of kind of kicking it down the road last week, and Dave kept giving me the side eye while I was sipping on my bourbon. We're doing the same thing we did last week. We're bringing Jake in to help us out with it. We're going to review some beer.
I like that. So is this just turning in the reviewing beer, or is it what do we do?
You know what? It's funny because it started as I texted him, and I was like, hey, I just want to review random things. And the easiest thing was beer. So I was like, okay, go grab some random beers. And then this week, obviously, you texted me. We were talking about it. And I was like, yeah, let's do it again. So, yeah, I guess for now, maybe we'll turn
until we
to
get
food.
our hands on something else.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Just send us stuff. You want us to try stuff? Send us stuff. Looking for local first, and then we'll take it from there. What are we starting with?
So one of them I've tried. So you can either start with that one, or do you want to go with the one that we're all super curious
you know what?
about?
You're the guest of honor. Just pick one of these three here.
I don't know.
You don't even have to name what it is. Just by color.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe it.
Yeah, just quick pick. Boom, boom, boom. Uno, dos, tres. All right, we're going with the Riverboat Raz here.
Yep.
We'll do a little something here. A little Riverboat Raz. Feel free to open it, sip it, whatever you want to do. It's a raspberry ale by Huckleberry Brewing Co. All right, here's the thing. It's got to be local to me. It's not always going to be local, but to me, it's got to be local, right? This is out of Alexandria. I don't know if I consider that local. Damn near Texas. But we're here. We're rolling with it. Let's get it.
Little overflow here.
Yeah, a little spillage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the sound. Oh, I missed it. It's all good.
Well, that's what I was trying to do when I spilled it everywhere.
So let's think about this, actually. I made the joke. Alexandria is not necessarily Louisiana. It's damn near Texas. Why is everybody from Alexandria a Cowboys fan? Do you want to talk about that first?
I don't know anybody from Alexandria.
You don't? I know
No.
one guy from Alexandria who's a Cowboys fan.
So that's your...
That's the bar. That's the bar. I mean, no, like going back through time, right? Like you know this, you've heard this. Like people from like Shreveport, like we have families. You have family from Shreveport, right? Or from up that way. And some of them are Cowboys fans, or maybe they're not Cowboys, but other people are Cowboys fans. I don't know. It's just always been interesting to me. I mean, back in the day, even during the Super Bowl years, you remember when they had to like vote. Like I remember the news station, they would vote between which game Shreveport was going to watch. Now I'm not talking, obviously that's not Alexandria, but it was always interesting to me, and ever since I've looked at them as traitors. That's my tangent. That's all I got.
I'm gonna back you on that.
Yeah.
I have no knowledge of this, so I'm just gonna back you. Sounds fair. I like it.
Very cool. Well, Jake, welcome. We should start with you, man. I know obviously we've talked pretty in depth about the background of where you came from, how the Instagram came to be. Big time Saints fan. I would love to just really first and foremost let you introduce yourself, or just tell me about your Saints fandom. Maybe who your favorite player was. I don't even care. Just throw something out that's gonna spark something here.
I've been a Saints fan my whole life. I'd say
There you
my
go.
favorite player is Marcus Colston
Okay.
of all time. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Quiet Storm. Is Marcus Colston the best wide receiver in the history of the New Orleans Saints?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Michael Thomas was on the path, and then it kind of. I mean, are we talking like just talent wise? Because I don't know.
If Michael Thomas never got hurt, he was on pace to be the best player of all time for the Saints, like receiver.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm with that also. It is tough though, because like maybe he already is. I don't know.
Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
Stats wise, I have no idea. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I will say, man, he was killing it. He was the best wide receiver in the NFL. Like, I mean, not that Marcus Colston wasn't, but Colston was never looked at that way. Like Thomas was that guy. So it's a tough comparison with the injuries. I don't know. I just figured I'd ask.
Yep.
I think longevity gives it to Colston.
Think so?
I think so.
It's also just a good.
Still crazy he's never made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Colston.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most underrated wide receivers in NFL history. In my opinion. There's a ton, especially with, the I don't know what you would call the era, like where they've changed all the rules and now like offenses are pass heavy, stats are flying. Wide receivers are kind of overlooked when it comes to a lot of these things. But
I feel like when you start talking about like underrated receivers, though, it always seems to be like a second or third receiver that was just like Lance Moore, like contributed really well to the Saints, or a lot to the Saints, but to call Colston underrated is like an understatement almost, because he was in the discussion as one of the best in the league. He wasn't just like a little role playing receiver over here.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, no question. And then it kind of also brings me to the point, like Drew Brees, one of the most underrated players of all time in the NFL. Like, not even on. Did you see who came out with the list? There's a quarterback. There's a recent quarterback, Pat Mahomes, came out with a list of his top 5 quarterbacks or whatever it was. Drew Brees didn't make the list. I was so offended. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it was just like, it was crazy to me. I couldn't fathom it.
I don't remember what it was. All I remember was Dan Marino was like 5 or something like that.
Which is like fair. Like, it's fair. Like, you could argue a lot of different things. It just blows my mind that Drew is not even in the conversation a lot of the time.
Drew and Rodgers debate. Were like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I mean, like, what, like, in your opinion, like, what would go into, if you had to make an argument for Drew over Rodgers? Like, what do you think, if there is one?
I don't know. He should have won at least 2 MVPs throughout his career.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure.
I don't know, like the yardage, the 5K seasons that he's had.
I think if you just like talent wise, like Rodgers can do things that Drew couldn't do. Like, it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. There's something to just. Sometimes we talk about this often. When you just put on the games, put on the tape, like Drew just was a different animal, man. Like, I don't even. He just won games with, I think, worse teams. I'm guessing. I'm sure there's a little bit of bias going into this, right?
There is,
but because they're probably like,
I'll acknowledge that.
What.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. I just, for my money, I'd rather Drew. Maybe, and it's also, I think, just the person that he is and like a leader that he is. That when you're talking about these kind of arguments, like, you got to, because they're so close, you got to talk about everything.
The leadership.
You got to nitpick, right?
That's big, because, and not that Rodgers isn't a good leader. I'm sure his teammates will tell you he's a fantastic leader, but Rodgers definitely comes across these days as kind of a wild card, right? Like, there's a lot of things he says and does that are like, okay, well, hey, that's Rodgers. Yeah, I don't know. I think that goes a long way, the leadership stuff. It's interesting too when you look at the parallels, not only of their career but of their coaches' careers. When you tie all of it together, I mean, if you go to Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy, right? They basically have the same resume. Like both these quarterbacks and both these coaches have basically had the same career, and yet they're looked at, like Peyton is looked at head and shoulders above McCarthy, but a lot of people look at Rodgers head and shoulders above Drew. I don't know. It's interesting, like what forms the discourse. That's why I was thinking through it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just realized we didn't talk about this beer.
I was gonna circle back. I was thinking it.
It just popped into my head. We completely blew past it.
Yeah, I felt bad because I didn't really introduce Jake very well. I wanted to get him an opportunity to talk. I know it's first time hopping in here. So, Riverboat Raz, what are your thoughts?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely good.
Yeah. Any notes of anything? You feeling any?
No.
No.
Not really.
Are you a beer drinker?
I am, yes.
You do? Like you just try anything?
I'm more of like a lager.
Lager? Okay.
Drinker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like
beer drinker.
he knows. I'll go places, like I'll go to Chimes. I know you work at the beer garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to go places like that and just walk in and be like, yeah, just give me something random, like surprise me. So it's fun.
There you go.
Fun time. I like it. The first sip I took, I was like, I don't know. It was an interesting flavor, but I took a few more, and now I'm liking it. I think once that initial shock of like what it is got past me, I'm like, all right, it's cool.
Yeah.
Different.
I couldn't pass up something called Riverboat Raz. I didn't even know it was Alexandria. I just saw it was local under, Total Wine. They got the little local section. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I don't know if I would buy it a ton. It's definitely got that fruity. You know what I'm talking about? I said it last week. I probably said it off air, but it's got that, like, you drink enough of them, it's going to give you that weird, like,
yeah,
just you want to drink something else after.
It's weird to have a raspberry beer that's not a sour.
Yeah.
Most of the time you get a raspberry beer, it's like a strong raspberry, and
Yeah.
it's a sour. This is like if you want like that raspberry flavor but don't necessarily want it to be as strong as a sour, I feel like this could be the move.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's definitely not as strong. It's just like a hint of raspberry.
Yeah. I agree. You should have seen me walking down these aisles too. I was probably my poor wife. I went to the gym, and then I was like, "Oh, I have to go to the store and get dog food." And then I'm coming home, and she's like, "Where you at?" And I was like, "Oh, I had to get dog food." But really, I went to the store and got dog food, and then I went to Total Wine, and I was in Total Wine for 30 minutes trying to choose the right beers.
Every time I'm there, I'm walking up and down. Like, I walk up and down each aisle. It's like, 3 beer aisles?
Yeah.
And I walk up and down each one of them like 4 times.
I could not make a decision. But we picked, I'm telling you, there's some other ones in here we're going to pull out. Listen, I just saw the label and I was like, yes. I don't know why, but yes. So we're gonna dive into those in a minute if we get through these. These are all tall boys too, so hopefully by the end of this they're all like 4%. So hopefully we'll be all right.
I gotta be up at 3 a.m.
Oh, good for you. And you're serving and protecting. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully they're not watching this.
I don't care.
All right, cool, man. So listen, there's plenty of sports topics we can dive into. There's also plenty of off the wall topics. Do you want a fun topic first, or do you want to just get into the nitty gritty of some of this depressing? How do we fix this type of stuff? What are we thinking? Do me a favor too. When you talk, these mics don't pick up a good bit. Like, just get it as close to your mouth as possible. Okay. We had Mark. Shout out Mark. Came on the podcast once, and the whole time he was talking like this, and it was just like, shh, we can't hear him. Like when we do the editing. So
let's end on a high note. Let's start with the.
You want to start with the negative stuff and end on a high note?
Might as well. Let's start with that, and then we'll end.
Okay.
End fun.
All right. Listen.
So how do we fix the offense?
Great. Yeah. Dive in. I genuinely don't know. I wrote down coming in. There's clearly miscommunication. That's been pointed out a ton of times. There's even disagreement on what the miscommunication is or whose fault it is. I mean, it seems like no one can point to one answer. All I know is they got to get on the same page. And I think we said this last week too. It's going to start at the top. Like, you need some strong leadership, not just from the players. Like, you're going to need some coaches to really step in and right the ship some way. Now, I know, like, at the end of the day, it's going to fall back on the players, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I do question, you had Carr come out and say that they had some tough conversations, and that they feel better coming into this week. I guess we'll see. I'm not overly optimistic. I feel like the problems you're seeing are pretty consistent. People just don't seem to know where they need to be. People are on top of each other. People aren't hearing the right call, or people aren't giving the right call. There's some odd plays called in weird situations. I feel like it's such a storm of so many different things.
And you really can't place the blame on like one specific person too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's on everyone.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. What you think?
I'm with you, man. I don't know. Like, if you get on Twitter, you're gonna see everybody blaming. You'll see one group blaming one person, another group blaming one person. When the reality is, like you said, it's a mixture of everything, right? And it's not even the same person or same thing week to week.
Right.
There were weeks where it was clearly play calling. Then there's weeks where it's clearly Derek Carr. Then there's weeks where it's clearly people not knowing where to be or doing their job. And it's just like, can we get everything fixed at once? I feel nobody's needed a bye week more than the Saints right now. But like even then, like, do we have the leadership on offense that's going to get them together and be like, hey, let's fix this over a bye week?
I think player-wise you do, but I think, you alluded to a good point last week where maybe Carr didn't have the clout yet to be the type of leader he was trying to be. He seemed like he was throwing people under the bus, whether he was or not, and it rubs people the wrong way. And I think it's difficult to come back from that. There was a lot of stuff on Twitter, not necessarily real reports, but there was stuff on Twitter about the locker room kind of going sideways after the last game, and I hope that's not true. I don't know. That's like, so to answer your question, I don't know. I'm just here and like trying to get through it like the rest of us.
Yeah, they know. I mean, it's weird, man, because it's not like, you were talking off air about the trade deadline, and they're not like one player away, right? I don't even think it's a player, like a personnel issue.
They definitely have the team to compete in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, especially the NFC South. Like the division is what we kind of thought it was going to be right now. Yeah, and it just feels like if they could rattle off like 4 wins in a row, I think we'd be clear sailing. Well, really, you know what I mean?
The schedule's favorable. I mean, if you look at the next, you should be able to rattle off 4 in a row. Now, will you? I don't know.
We're an underdog to a team with Gardner Minshew this week.
Oh, we're officially an underdog.
We were as of like when the line first came out. We were. Whether it's changed or not, I don't know.
I don't know how it makes me feel. We haven't proven that we deserve to not be an underdog in that game. Their defense is pretty good. They've been able to move the ball even with Gardner, even without Richardson in there. They're throwing the ball well. They're running the ball well. They look solid. It is still a team with Gardner Minshew at starting quarterback, so you would hope that you have a good shot, especially with your defense.
And that's the thing, like, if we get our offense top 20 in that range with the top 5 defense.
Crazy to me, man.
It's so funny that because for years it was always if we could just get the defense to be average, and now it's just the complete other side of the coin, and it's so much more miserable than those years. Yeah. I can officially tell you I would rather an awful defense than an awful offense. At least like now, like because it's just not fun to watch. Like I went to when I was at the game last week. That first half was so miserable. To just be there and be like,
you have to really enjoy some technical defensive football to like the way the Saints play right now. And it's ugly. Like offense is ugly. There's penalties. There's all this stuff. So it's an ugly, mucky football game. I think it takes someone who's like probably played football and just really enjoyed being in it, being in the thick of it, because it's not fun to watch. You got something? It looked like you were about to say something.
No. I got none.
You're just thinking the same thing I'm thinking. I get it.
So what we figure out? Trade deadlines next week?
Yep.
Yeah, Halloween, right?
Halloween, yeah.
Oh, we getting any spooky skeletons moving around? Send shivers down your spine. Any trades sending shivers down your spine?
Anyway.
Listen, I'm trying to make this conversation fun. It's not rubbing me the right way.
So, I guess the question is, do we think they make a move? Should they make a move? If so, what should they do?
I think
go ahead, because I have I think I have a couple thoughts. So go ahead.
Okay.
Maybe get a piece for the O-line or dealing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
With the offensive line getting.
Yeah, I think that every other position group seems okay, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know that one offensive lineman is gonna.
No,
is
yeah.
gonna. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, just ride it out, and whatever happens, happens. Like I don't want to trade any of these. I mean, if you want to trade a late round pick for
those
something.
early picks, second, third rounders, that's where they tend to hit.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't even trade
them.
I wouldn't trade anything fourth or better. Like why?
Especially that second rounder being Denver's, you got to keep.
Yeah.
You got to keep that.
Are you in the mindset right now of like let's acquire draft capital, or are you more like let's acquire a player if you get anything at the deadline?
Definitely a player.
I go back and forth. That's why I was asking. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think what they have right now is the future, is the answer. I don't want to have a fire sale. I'm not trying to trade every star player you got, but if somebody comes with offering like a haul for somebody, I mean, everybody's replaceable at the end of the day, right? Like,
well, you saw how long it took him to get a dominant, cornerback like Marshawn.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, guys like him are.
Yeah, there are players. I mean, and he's still kind of young. So like,
Marshawn? Yeah.
So like, I don't want to. Like, I know him and Alvin are kind of the same age, but it's different positions, things like that. But like, I don't even know who it would be for. But like, if you could get a haul for somebody, somewhat like what the Panthers got, like you almost. And like, I'm not saying Alvin. I'm just saying.
I was going to say that's where this is. With what you're talking about, it feels like that's where it's heading.
Yeah, but I don't think he's getting you that. It would probably have to be like Marshawn would be the one to get that type of thing. But if somebody's all, and I don't like that's a crazy amount of picks. I don't even think it would be close to that. But anyway, if you could get something in return like that, like I think you do it, man. Because like Carolina's set up really well now that they got a hit on their picks.
With how close the NFC South is, you kind of gotta make a move if you think the team could compete in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But,
so I guess my point is like if you do, like you can win the NFC South, but does it really benefit you to just get in the playoffs? Because like you win the NFC South, it really doesn't say much to me.
I think it depends. I think it depends how confident you are in your offense. Your defense is championship caliber. So if you can get any sort of rhythm on offense, and you feel like that trade's going to get you there,
it's just one game in the playoffs. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, there's definitely the argument to be made to be like, just get in the tournament.
Yeah.
Right, and you never know what can happen, especially with a defense like you're saying. I don't know. I guess I'm a little more pessimistic about it all. Like,
well, let's be real. It's hard not to be. Like, it's you're on year 2, almost year 3 of this type of team. Even when Peyton was here, like it was the same team. Like it hasn't really changed much. You were going through quarterbacks. Your offense wasn't really moving the ball. You were relying on the defense. Like it's been tough since Drew left.
And the offense has just been the same, pretty much.
Yeah. I guess I'm just. I don't think I'd be upset either way. To be honest with you, like I've kind of accepted that if they were to go into a rebuild, like it is what it is, right? Because it's kind of to the point where like what we're doing ain't working. If that's the move they want to make, okay. But like if they went and get a player, as long as like we said they're not trading one of those high draft picks, I'm cool with it.
I'd let Carr's contract play out, and if things don't work out, then maybe do the rebuild.
Yeah,
But I'd definitely let.
I mean, you're talking. What's that? 2 more years after
yeah,
Carr? Like Carr's.
I mean, he's probably what? It's probably like, isn't it like a 5-year contract? But they can probably get out of it after 2.
I think it's 2 more years at least.
Yeah. We'll see.
That's
If they want to get off of somebody, they'll find a way.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. I always joke like the cap's not real, right? Like I am a proponent, but I will argue that until the day I die. And people will come with numbers and be like, "Yeah, but they're 80 something over the cap," and I'm like, "Okay, did you see last year?" And then they ended up 30 million under. Like, who cares? The cap is not real. Mickey and the rest of the bunch are gonna make it work, and I have faith in that. Now it looks ugly, but but they field a team with talent. They just ain't putting it together for some reason. So. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
we can keep talking about it, but
I get burnt out on it because it's just like nothing's changing. I just want to see some good football at the end of the day.
Feels like the same thing every year.
Every year. This is at least 2 years straight of this. We got tired of talking about it last year.
We trick ourselves every offseason. Oh, yeah, this is it. Last year it was Jameis. Man, Jameis could be the guy. And then it was like, I don't know. And now it's like, Carr, man. Carr's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC. And then it's
first
like,
game of the season where they,
yeah. I came into it this year with the mindset of, like, whatever happens, because I think it's a win-win either way. Because, like, I feel like if they implode again, then they're going to get the reset, and we'll clean house, do what we need to do. But if they're good, then they're good. So it's like either way, I feel like the outcome here is
right.
Hopefully just one more season of suffering.
Yeah, I mean, from a fan's point of view, like it totally makes sense. I get it. It's tough. You come into the season. I saw a report earlier. You come into the season thinking your quarterback is going to be your advantage in your division. And if you look at the numbers, I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about anything on tape. I'm not talking about whatever you want to say about the guy or the team. If you look at the numbers, the quarterback is not the advantage. I mean, he's the third in the NFC East or NFC South. Jesus. Yeah, it's just not there. It's tough.
The best thing to do is just detach yourself from this team emotionally. It is the only way to go about this. Do not let them ruin your week. Do not let them ruin your day.
Yeah.
That kind of leads into what's been going on online and everything. Like, it's just such a toxic place right now.
Don't do it, guys.
On social media.
It's not worth it.
Like, to get as riled up as people. And sometimes all I can do is laugh when I see all these people going crazy. Like, I'm sure you see it, like, in your comments sometimes and things like that.
Yep.
Like, it's just like, man. And, like, don't get me wrong, there was a point in my life where I was like that.
For sure.
I always say it. After the no call, I just kind of, like, detached myself. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. Because I'm just like, I'm not engaging in none of this. I'm just going to go about my day.
I actually started detaching a little before, and I don't know why, to be completely honest. I think the Minnesota Miracle really was my... Not that, like, broke me, because I still watch Saints every year, every game. I'm still in it, like, rooting for them. But I very quickly get over it afterwards. And maybe that's maturity with age. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean...
They should have won it that year. That was another year,
The Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was that one and the no call. I mean, and the year against the dang Bucks when we fumbled it away. I mean, listen... Those are 3 real opportunities at a Super Bowl, and it's heartbreaking to look at that and realize that a guy like Drew Brees, who had an opportunity to be one of the greatest of all time, is now looked at as...
Can't think of the year...
whoever.
San Francisco, Werner Davis.
That also hurt.
Yeah.
2011.
2011, yep.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Drew could had like a legitimate shot at like 5 rings.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not wrong.
Like, because that year, if they win, they're getting the 6 seed Giants in the Dome.
Mm-hmm.
5 rings and like 2 MVPs, 3 MVPs.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a whole different... You paint a whole different picture.
Right. It'd be Brady, Brees.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe not, because I think he faces Brady in a couple of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big what if.
Instead,
right
it's Brady Manning, and then...
But you know what? Even if he gets a second one, that completely changes how people view him. That second one does something for you. Like, it did something for Peyton, and he didn't even really contribute to the second one.
He just wrote a defense, which Drew could have done his last 2 years.
But
Drew,
being twice as productive as Peyton was.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my favorite quote, I think I said it last week, with one of Peyton's last years when Richard Sherman called him out. He was like, yeah, he throws ducks. He's like, yeah, well, my ducks flew for 5,000 yards last year. It's like, oh, okay.
Peyton Manning is the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Excuse me?
That year of Peyton Manning, where he couldn't really throw a football, is the worst version of a quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. It's that and Trent Dilfer.
I was going to say, like, in a world where Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
But think about it. Peyton couldn't throw a ball 5 yards.
I don't care. Jesus. Peyton Manning is one of the smartest quarterbacks who has ever played the game. He doesn't have to throw it more than 5 yards.
Physically, he's the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Maybe that might be fair. I guess I don't know. I can't agree with this.
Where's my paper? I can throw it in this candle. Hot take.
Jeez, Louise, you should have seen the disgust that hit my face when you said it.
I'm looking right at you.
I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. Oh, yeah. What are we talking about? I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Not the Saints anymore.
All right, let's have more fun. You're not going to like this conversation. I don't know how much you follow this team, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Tulane has one loss. They are ranked. Where are they ranked right now? Did they go down after? They had a tough game this past weekend against North Texas.
No, I thought they moved up. I thought they're like 22 now.
Are they 22? They might have moved up one. They had a tough game against North Texas. They are on the outside looking in right now of the being the best Power 5 team and getting in to a Cotton Bowl or Peach Bowl or any of these big bowl games right now. Just because Navy, I believe, is undefeated.
No, it's
Air Force.
Air
Force is one of the academies. Come on.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for correcting me too. I need to get this stuff right. I should get it right. I follow it every dang day. Anyways, one loss. Tough game last weekend. I'm curious though, how does it feel being an LSU fan and knowing that Tulane is basically just as good?
That is false.
Is it though?
It is.
Tell me why.
LSU's offense, their whole team has just gotten completely better from that week 1 game against Florida State, and with the win next Saturday against Alabama.
Oh, we're speaking about the future. I like
future.
I like that. Keep going.
Yeah, but they control their own destiny. They could win the SEC West and face Georgia in the conference championship.
That's fair.
The SEC championship if they went out.
Okay.
So
a lot of ifs in your argument about why they're better, but I appreciate it. No, listen, I get it, right?
They have gotten a lot better from that game against Florida State.
LSU 100% has gotten a lot better. They've even gotten better since their game against Ole Miss. Their defense has gotten better in the
and their offense looks phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Their offense is, not to be hot takey, is it the best offense in college football?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know the numbers, but I'm like...
And Jaden Daniels is the Heisman favorite right now,
absolutely,
too.
100%.
It's got to be up there with, I think earlier was, Washington's offense was pretty high.
Yeah, but Penix had a few bad games
that's
now.
What I'm saying.
The last two.
Maybe. I don't know.
You know what's funny?
Gotta be close.
Ever since your boy Troy got up to Washington, Penix ain't been looking so hot. I just want to say, maybe he's the kiss of death.
Maybe.
Listen, I'll be very professional when it comes to a lot of people. That guy left a bad taste in my mouth, so appreciate it, guys. So do you think there's a real opportunity for LSU to end up in the tournament? Do you think if
they go undefeated from here on out,
SEC,
yes, there's a possibility.
Okay, it'd be fun. Listen. Nick Anderson tweeted it. He wanted LSU last year. I want Tulane LSU. I don't know how it ends. Might not end well. I don't care. I still want it.
I'm with you. Yeah,
I
want to see it.
If they beat Georgia in the SEC championship, they have to be in the playoff.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
do they have to be?
It's hard to say without looking at the rankings of who's
but
where.
You beat the number 1 team in the country, so
that's fair.
Where are they at right now? Where are they ranked right now?
They were 19. I think they shot up after the last
they
win.
shot up to 14, 15, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they need people. You need people to lose. I don't care if you beat Georgia. If you're 10, you're not jumping to 4 without a bunch of people losing ahead of you. No matter how good you are, unless because they'll put number 7 in before you. If number 7 keeps winning, I don't know who number 7 is, but if the number 17 in the country keeps winning, you're not jumping 7 just because you beat 10 or beat 1.
Forgive my ignorance too, because I admittedly have not been watching or following the rankings as much as I should have. I know Tulane's ranked, I know LSU's ranked, I know around what they're ranked, but have the college football playoff rankings actually come out yet? Because I think that's when it starts to matter.
Think they've come out yet.
No, I don't think so.
Because if those come out and LSU's not 14, they're 9
right
or 10, then it's a whole different story. If you're 9 and you beat 1,
do they usually come out in November-ish? Or?
I think it's got to be soon.
I thought it was week 9, but
it's
week 8.
Be pretty close.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think it's a fair point. I think it's a fair question. I agree that LSU has gotten a lot better. I just, as a Tulane fan, I'm always going to try and poke fun and have fun with it while I can. And listen, I think Tulane's going to continue to grow. I think hopefully they make the right moves and they end up with a great.
And it will be fun to watch Tulane LSU.
I think it'll be a blast. I think it'll be a blast. Just for trash talking purposes, right? Listen, I don't think any Tulane. Well, maybe they do. I was going to say, I don't think any Tulane fan truthfully expects to walk in and beat LSU, but I think they damn sure expect to compete. I think they think it's going to be a good game. And I think that's fair because Tulane's defense is like a great defense. I mean, they are one of the top defenses in the NCAA.
Yeah, there's questions about the offense, I guess.
There have been.
Is where the weakness is. Not really a weakness. It's just not as consistent, I think, as we'd like it to be. At least parts of it. Because like the running game's been pretty consistent, but I think they're just trying to, I don't know. It seems like they're still trying to find it through the air, and
I think they're figuring it out. I think that the problem has been you lose Pratt. Week 1, Pratt was healthy, looked amazing. He gets banged up. You play with a backup 2 weeks. You're kind of up and down. Pratt comes back not 100%. They said after this last game that he's 100%, but even this last game, his throws were a little erratic. We'll see. I want to see him continue to improve. They're still mocking him middle of the draft, I think 2nd through 4th round, which is interesting because I don't think that, no offense to Pratt, I don't think this year he's lived up to his expectations. I think he would tell you that. We'll see. You had a thought?
Speaking of Tulane, kind of transitioning out of that, unless you got more you want to say.
Go ahead.
This is just about small market teams.
Mm-hmm.
So with the World Series going on,
yes,
you got Rangers and Diamondbacks, 2 teams that not national, they don't get a lot of national attention. The whole narrative of this is the worst thing for baseball because it's not Yankees Dodgers.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna watch this, which sure the ratings will probably not be great.
Okay.
But I'm so tired of everybody, like the national media, always needing it to be Yankees Dodgers or I don't know who would be in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of it having to be these 2 teams. Like for me personally, and I think we've kind of talked about this, it's so much cooler to see a Rangers team, and not even just because I'm a Rangers fan, a Rangers team that's never won versus the Diamondbacks who have been.
It's just awesome to see like a team, small market, like you were saying, make it to the championship. And
does everybody, like, who doesn't love like an underdog?
It gives everyone hope. First of all, people have been saying it's bad for the game, which I 100% disagree. I think it's phenomenal for the game because what it does is it makes every fan base think that they have a chance coming into the next season. They're more invested. They watch more. Ratings go up. It's just listen. What's it called? Rising tide lifts all ships, right? Like that's just what's happening in those situations. And I do agree. I hate that the media does it. They do it in the NFL too. You see it more in MLB and NBA, specifically with like Lakers and Knicks and Celtics. Like everybody wants to see the Heat. Like, and it's because guys like Stephen A., no offense, gets on there and they're like, listen, when it comes playoff time, you know where I want to be, because they just want a vacation there. Like they look at it like this is the city they want to be in, so that's the narrative they want to push.
I've been to Arizona. That's a cool city.
It's
like a cool state. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's just, it's, and me and Marcelo kind of talked about this last night when we were recording the squeeze. It's like, they don't think there's the star power, which, I mean, there is.
Does Major League Baseball have star power? You can't hang your hat on that right now. Not right now.
You got like Aaron Judge. There's some players, right?
Name another one.
Acuna. Oh, no. I'm gonna know. Acuna is a star. I mean, I'm a
but
baseball.
He's not,
to me,
he's not. Okay. He is in the Major League Baseball world. He is, but he's not. Like,
I guess. But either way. So like even, but I'm talking about even in the baseball
whole nother
crowd.
Discussion. Sorry.
Even in the baseball crowd, like they're saying, what I'm saying. It's like there are good players, but what we talked about was now is a chance for you to see the stars, for a lack of a better term or whatever, that Texas has, that Arizona has. Arizona has one of the youngest teams with a bunch of really good young players that could become the next stars.
This is, to maybe steal a phrase, coin a phrase, this is where stars are born. Like, you're in the World Series. If a guy shows up and shows out, he's now a star.
The Rangers just had Adolis Garcia hit 5 home runs in 4 games to beat, to like maybe end an Astros dynasty. Like, that's a star-making moment. Like, those moments are cool. And, like, who cares if it's for the Rangers or the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Marlins? Like, who cares what team it's for? Like, those moments are cool regardless.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Admittedly, I didn't even see it, but I agree with where you're coming from here. Like, I think that this is where you make your name. This is where you're on the national level, and now people see you. And I don't think making the argument that this is bad for baseball makes sense to me.
Yeah, and this doesn't even have to be a baseball thing. You can go back to Tulane last year
That's what I'm getting at. Like, it makes sense.
Like, people know who Tulane is now. Like, Tulane is a national name now because of that game. People, like, Tajay was getting, he was getting the looks before then, but that game made Tajay Spears.
For sure.
Right? So, I don't know. Like, the same way a star player like Caleb Williams losing that game can hurt him.
Yeah.
The complete opposite can happen. And I think it's just, it's always maybe the underdog story is great. Maybe it's the whole thing where this is like two underdogs going up against each other. So it's like,
yeah, who do you root for?
Right.
It's not as interesting, I guess.
To me, it's cool because I'm like in this scenario, like if the Rangers lose, I'd much rather be to a Diamondbacks team that hasn't had a lot of success and they're getting to finally experience it.
All right, we're at minute 39. I want to go to the next beer. I'm going to be honest. Y'all probably both still have full beers. I done chugged mine. It's done.
I can chug mine real quick. You want me to?
You don't have to finish it. You can just move to the next one. Like, it is what it is.
You want me to just mention the next thing I was going to say while you get to that?
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
I want to bring back creative championship logos. Like the cool Super Bowl logos.
Have y'all seen the recent, AI stadiums?
They're insane.
Listen. And you know what? AI can help this.
AI's insane.
Right now, the World Series logo literally just has the trophy, says World Series, and it's underlined by Capital One. What a boring.
Did y'all see the Buccaneers AI stadium?
No, I haven't seen that.
I went through them. The Bucks was like on a ship. Like, yeah, there's some wild ones in there.
This is actually a sore subject for me because it's across. It's everywhere. It's graphic design in general. It's the creativeness in general of these major league sports. It's not just the championship logos, it's the jerseys, it's the everything is overly simplistic now. And I'm not saying you have to go
even like the
beyond.
Super Bowl rings are
they're so simple.
Are they?
The rings. No,
the rings are insane.
Have you seen the ring for the Nuggets?
The Nuggets have a banner.
Well, the NFL,
I haven't seen the recent NFL rings. Who? I don't remember who won last year's Super Bowl. I'm so out of it right now.
Right?
Chiefs.
Yeah.
There you go, Travis Kelce.
Like the top, I don't know. Like the top comes off of them now. Like the Vegas ring, the top comes off, and like they have the ice, and then they have like spots from where every goal was scored.
That's
the game.
Amazing.
Like, dude, it's so cool.
They are getting really intricate.
They light up. Like, it's gonna get to the point where they can't even wear them anymore. There's literally a thing where they can just put the top of it on a chain now. Because it's just too much.
Most players do that anyway. All right, next beer. All right, listen, I grabbed this. This is my favorite one. I have not had this. I hadn't had any of these, to be fair. But I'm walking down the aisle, and all I see is a blue can that says sports. And the first thing I think is, man, that really
Shout out Sports Drink.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. That really looks like something Sports Drink would put out. It's like a sports drink. It says Glacial Frost. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this? I don't even know if this is local.
Even the can feels like an energy drink can. You know what I mean? Like, it's got that weird feel to it. It doesn't feel like a can of beer.
Here's my favorite thing. Look at the bottom, and this scares me. I'm not gonna lie. Blue raspberry, electrolyte infused sports beer. So can I work out or play like a game and then down this beer and it's gonna replenish me?
This beer feels like it might have been made for a slow pitch softball league.
Yes. Just in case you couldn't hear me. I love that. I need to play more slow pitch softball.
We'll decide.
Yeah, I haven't taken a sip yet. The smell. Oh, the smell. It smells blue raspberry. Jake, what you thinking? Have you sipped it yet?
No, not yet.
Oh God. Oh. All right, we're gonna do this.
Set that one aside.
Have you tried it? You took a sip? All right, I guess I'm doing it. Oh, that is interesting. Oh man, that is.
I don't love it.
That is a salty Gatorade. That is a weird. Oh man.
Was this one local?
It's Texas, so go figure.
Alexandria or like Texas?
No, like actual Texas, like Redford.
Y'all's
Texas
reaction? I don't know if I'm trying.
Oh, you're trying it. You better take a sip.
It's not like it's gonna make you want to puke.
No, it tastes.
It's just like I don't really want to drink it.
It's not awful. It's just like not something I want to drink.
I'll put it this way: there were a couple of those non-alcoholic ones we tried that I'd rather over this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, some of those just
Definitely
taste like
interesting.
water.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
It's not like something I've tasted before.
So I'm gonna show the camera just in case I didn't really do a good job the first time. Sports, energy drink, not energy drink, Glacial Frost. It's got a little hop on it. Established 2018. Good for them.
The only way to really test it, though, is to like go play basketball and then just chug one of these and see if you can play another game. I mean, it says electrolyte infused. Like, are you really giving it a fair shake if you don't test that out?
I don't know, because I'm going to be completely honest. When you said that, where my brain went was like, I don't know what it means to replenish my body with electrolytes. I just play until everyone says they're done, and then I go home and drink a bunch of water, and there's no difference. There's not, like, I just am tired, and then I shower, and then I live my life.
I don't love that one. I'll be honest with you.
It's weird. We can move on to the next one. I don't mind. These are all to be tested. We don't have to like them and drink them.
I know I'm going to like that one. So
yeah, you've had that one. I knew that, but I like the name. So we got more topics. All right, random thing. I want to shout out this. You guys might laugh at me. You a Taylor Swift fan? Are you a Swiftie?
I'm a Swiftie.
Nope.
Why not?
Just don't like the music.
Not for you. That's
Okay,
fair.
that's fair. So today, 1989 was released, Taylor's version, and I spent all day listening to Taylor Swift.
Me too.
Her 1989 album that she just released. I went to the gym. I was listening to it in the gym. I just wanted to call attention to it.
She was in her bag.
She was in her bag.
Mm-hmm.
Those songs have already been made, though. You know that,
I know.
right? She just remade them.
But you know what I saw? She got the purpose of this is so that she can own the music. She got Kendrick Lamar to redo his verse again so that she could own the rights to that song. So it's cool that they're working together to do that.
I do respect that. Even if you don't like Taylor Swift, you have to respect that she found a way. She just re-recorded her music, but she found a way to own the rights to all of her stuff to make her own money, which is, boss bitch move.
It's all very confusing to me though, because it's like the same song.
I don't understand how I was literally thinking this as I'm in the gym. I'm like, okay, so she re-records it. What does she have to change to where it's not like infringement? Like, can she get sued? I don't understand the laws of this stuff. She does change it a little bit. Like, the beats are kind of different. The melodies are slightly different, but it sounds almost the same. So, like, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
I think if you played the old one and the new one to me, I wouldn't be able to decide.
I can tell the difference. Wildest Dreams is my jam, and I remember the original one. What do you want to talk about, man?
I want to talk about baseball players throwing at each other.
Okay. You're a baseball fan?
No, not really.
Did you play baseball at all growing up?
When I was growing up, yes.
Okay.
I feel like everybody.
I used
baseball.
to like watching when I was younger, but guess New Orleans didn't have a team, so
yeah.
If we had a team, I'd definitely
That's fair.
follow it a lot more. But
I just last round when the Rangers were playing the Astros, there was the whole controversy.
I saw all this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and like this isn't even about like that specific thing, but I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, what a wild thing we allow like baseball to get away with, that like they just take justice into their own hands. And like, because if we were on the street and you did something to me like a week or 2 weeks ago, and the way I was going to handle it was just pick up a giant rock and just throw it at you 94 miles an hour, I'd be arrested for attempted murder. But on in the confines of a stadium while playing baseball, we're completely cool with being like, hey, you see this ball that is hard as I don't know what, a rock?
It's hard, yeah.
I'm going to just throw it at you 100 miles an hour, maybe at your head. And, like I said, if we were outside of the stadium, I'd be arrested for murder. But because you're there and I'm here, it's all good. Maybe we get in a little kerfuffle. And we get thrown out the game. Maybe we're suspended a couple games. But it's cool.
It's fine.
What an insane thing we allow baseball to do.
The bravado. I love it. I feel
like we need to get away from that. There's got to be a better way we can handle it. It is almost safer to just have them fight on the mound.
Yeah, just go the NHL route.
Yeah.
Just throw down the gloves. Let's meet at the mound.
Tie it up. You're only each going to get in a couple really good hits. And then, you know what? You go sit out for an inning. You go sit out for an inning. Come back. I think we just fixed baseball.
No, you make a pitcher sit out for an inning after he gets in a fight, and he's just done for the night.
Well, yeah, oddly enough, that's why the Rangers lost that game. Because it took 20 minutes to figure out who was being thrown out. But anyway, It's so crazy that we just allow that to be a thing.
One argument, if I can play devil's advocate, people don't walk around wearing helmets outside of baseball.
But it doesn't, it's rare that they're going for the head.
Okay.
They're aiming for the ribs. 80 plus in the ribs with a baseball is not going to feel great. It almost doesn't matter where you're hitting them. It's not great. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
I feel like there's a better way we could handle this. So I think people should just give us suggestions on how we can fix this part of baseball. Or maybe people like it. I like the fights that come afterwards because it's always fun to get a little bit of energy like that.
Listen, fights in any sport, I know that you're not supposed to do it. I get it, right? Man, are they fun. Right? They're a good time.
Yeah, of course. Every time, Mike Evans gets in Marshall Lattimore's face and they get in a little fight, it's always fun. It's fun depending on which team ends up benefiting from it. Because, one team always gets the momentum from it, the other team just doesn't. So, but if you're just a spectator, a third-party spectator, it's always fun. I'm always for it. And especially in hockey. A hockey fight is great, no matter what. Them dudes will just fight because their team is playing like shit and just be like, hey, let's fight and try to get some momentum.
All right, I have a topic.
Go ahead.
I have a thought. We've kind of talked about this season 1, episode 4, so I feel like it's fair to bring it back because people don't remember that. And if they do, and you've been here from the beginning, thank you so much. Text me. Let me know. I owe you a beer. I want to know, and hopefully this won't be too difficult to do. We could just say maybe your favorite instead of a top 5. I think we did top 5s before. Here's what I'm getting at. I want to know your favorite sports movie. I want to get your thoughts. I'll give you a second to think if you need a second. Just think through it. Do you know off the top of your head what your favorite sports movie is?
I remember what I said then, and it's not going to change.
What is it?
42.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a really good
42.
one.
42. As you know, big baseball fan. So 42 is just really good. It's a really, really good movie.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. My mind just goes another route when I think of my favorite baseball movie. And I don't remember. It's funny. I didn't even ask favorite baseball movie just now, but mine is also a baseball movie. I think I have a hard time between Sandlot, which is just a childhood thing,
of course,
nostalgia, and A League of Their Own.
Yeah, you get no pushback from me on those two.
Say definitely probably Sandlot.
Yeah,
is good.
Yeah,
it's just such a good movie.
You're not gonna get any pushback from me on Sandlot, League of Their Own, even Angels in the Outfield.
Oh yeah, come on.
There's so many good.
It could happen.
Baseball might have the top 5 sports movies.
Yeah, for a sport that I really don't care about these days. Definitely, I could name 7 sports movies that are probably in my top 10 that are baseball movies.
Baseball's got some good ones. What's a good basketball movie? A good sports movie.
Oh,
Coach Carter.
Yeah, Coach Carter's good. Loving basketball, depending on what you're into.
What's the? Man, there was Coach Carter, and then there's another one. Is it Hoosiers?
Hoosiers was a big one.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
People like Hoosiers. I didn't really watch Hoosiers. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to think, man. I don't know. For me, my favorite basketball movie is Semi-Pro. Just comedy. Will Ferrell's hilarious.
There's
Bacchitis.
Football wise, for me, it's probably The Longest Yard, the remake. I don't think I've ever watched the original.
Remember the Titans?
Oh yeah,
remember the Titans, man. The whole speech about I am a winner. I'm going to win. That just resonates with me so hard, and that's because I'm an a-hole. I'll be honest with you, but
I feel like I'm probably just forgetting some pretty big.
Yeah, there's some
Waterboy.
There's some good football movies too.
But some of them, is Waterboy really a good? Is it a good movie, or is it?
It's just a stupid funny movie.
Yeah, we just enjoy it. It's just fun to watch. Yeah. But I don't know that it's a good movie. But I'll watch it anytime it's on.
It's fun. Are you a big movie guy? Tell me what you do in your spare time. Let's get to know Jacob.
Well, definitely a movie guy.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
Trying to watch more TV series.
Okay.
Been watching Kitchen Nightmares.
Okay.
The new season of that.
So Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is that the one where they go into like restaurants that are kind of failing and they try to?
Yep.
They did one in New Orleans and people were so mad about it. Like they didn't like what they turned it into.
I think all the ones in the new season have been more like in New Jersey and like New York.
Okay.
In that area.
Okay.
But yeah, they're good. Kind of crazy.
We've had this discussion. Are you if you got a new movie or a new show coming out, are you a binge it every week person? Do you prefer week to week, or do you prefer to just
if I'm like really into
knock it out?
Knock it out.
Yeah, if it's available, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm running.
Okay, but if you could choose whether your favorite show is, and not just like your favorite show, I'm talking like if it's like Game of Thrones where everybody's watching it and you can get on and talk to people. I think there's something to that week in between episodes where you get to interact with people. There's something to that, but there's not a lot of shows like that anymore that are big like cultural phenomenons.
Yeah,
like that.
I think
and
the streaming
binging killed it.
Yeah, streaming and binging have kind of a lot of things get released all together now, like or multiples get released. I'm watching Loki right now, which is actually not like that, and they're doing one every Thursday. And there's one that I haven't seen right now that somebody was like tweeting about the other day about how crazy it was, and I was like, I gotta watch it now. So there is a lot of excitement actually when it is week to week. Like, it's kind of cool.
But it's really only cool when other people are watching it too, I think. Cause
Stranger Things is one.
When
it comes back out. I've watched. So a lot of people don't know this. Jacob and I are cousins, and I watch Stranger Things with his sister, my other cousin. And it's just this whole to do. Like it's always when it comes out, like week after week. It's so much fun to get together and.
I'm trying to think of like the last like big show that a lot of people like Succession. I think is one that a lot of people watch. I haven't seen it, but everybody says it's amazing. I kind of miss that, man. Like ever since Game of Thrones ended, I don't think I've had another show like that.
Yeah,
it was, and whether like, and part of it is like nobody agreed on how.
I'll be honest, like I've never.
It's terrible.
I've got into Game of Thrones, but I think I stopped at like season 7-ish.
That's fair. Some people would tell you that's kind of when it fell off. To me, I loved it all the way through, but I'm not somebody that like read the books or cared about all the like whether it diverted from that and all of that kind of stuff.
I actually am upset with myself that I stopped. I let the pressure get to the peer pressure get to me when it ended because I was on season 6 or something like that when it ended, and I was like, oh man, like I heard the end.
What's another one that was kind of the same? It was on Hulu. It was
on Hulu.
Yeah, it was similar to Game of Thrones.
Oh,
is it the Lord of the Rings one?
No, it was a different.
I don't know. They're making that Harry Potter one coming out. I think that's going to be the next show that I think everybody is going to be talking about. I hope they do that one week to week.
Yeah.
That feels like one that they should do week to week.
What's it on?
I don't know. I don't remember what it's going to be on. But I feel like if they do that one week to week, it's going to be one where, especially people like in our age group that grew up with the books and everything, like as you know, lifelong Harry Potter fan.
Lifelong. Yeah, no, for sure.
Jake doesn't know. Last year when the game, or this year, whatever it was, when the new game was coming out.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
I had never watched any Harry Potter movie. I binge watched all, 9 of them in like a week. So that was just a running joke that I'm a lifelong Harry Potter fan.
Anyway, I'm a lifelong Florida Panthers fan.
There you go. But I think if they do that one right week to week.
I'm kind of the same with Spider-Man. I hadn't watched any Spider-Man movies. Probably a couple of them, and I got the game. Yeah. So this
is very interesting. So which Spider-Man movies have you seen? I'm curious.
First, second.
Like who are the actors? Which? Tell me more.
Probably the Tobey Maguire ones.
Is that like the old ones, like back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. Those are good ones.
Yeah,
they're all good.
I would argue the newer ones, the Tom Holland ones, are the best ones.
My favorite.
But whole nother conversation.
But the game's great though.
Okay,
of course. I'm in the middle of playing the new one right now.
Yeah,
I'm about to work 29 straight, and I may or may not finish it during that time. Anyway.
All right, we are at an hour. We should probably wrap this up. One more beer. Let's try this beer and close it out. I do have it. I grabbed it. I didn't want that other one anymore. I set it to the side. It was not good. Here, let me get you. I got you, Dave. Dave's already had this beer. Little history in this beer. This is Rally Cap. So Rally Cap's out of Baton Rouge, I believe, right? Yeah, Rally Cap's out of Baton Rouge. I'll be honest with you guys, I can never pass up a beer that is named after something from my favorite sports movie of all time, Sandlot. This beer is called Wendy Peppercorn. And if anybody's seen Sandlot, you know who Wendy Peppercorn is.
Yeah.
It's a little creepy though, right?
Like, it's a little weird.
If I think about
as you grow up, it's like that's another discussion we should have like later in another episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that again.
Weird moments in movies that you look back on and are like,
yeah.
You know what?
But anyways, this Windy Peppercorn beer is a golden milk stout with coffee and vanilla. As you guys know, we are the official podcast of Coffee Free Agents everywhere. I've never had it. He just had it. He's already had it. We'll check it out. Is it a stout? It is a stout. I normally don't like stouts. Is it thick?
I'm sorry. The Rangers just hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the ninth to tie it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sorry. Yes, it's a. What it was this? I think they described it as a golden stout.
Okay.
Is that what they said?
Golden.
No,
milk.
I don't remember. It's kind of hard now because it's in the can.
Golden milk.
It wasn't like black.
It didn't. I remember seeing it. It
was kind of light.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, cheers. Look, we didn't do this earlier. Let's get a little cheers. Yeah, you fucking microphone. All right, cool. We'll see how this goes. Yep, tastes like a stout. Oh God.
But it's not. I don't think it's strong like a stout, like a Guinness is.
Yeah, Rally Cap. I do like some of your beers, man. It's not you, it's me. I'll be honest with you.
I love it for what it's worth.
I love the name of it. I do. It's really cool. I love the design on the can. I'm just not a stout guy.
It's got vanilla. You know, I'm there.
You are. You're a vanilla guy, cream guy.
I will. So anybody that doesn't know Rally Cap, you should go to their website. Just read the names of their beers.
Great names.
All of them are great. They're all baseball related.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I'd like to take a trip and go do a tour.
It's not
if
far.
it's possible. I'm assuming we can do a tour. Most breweries do a tour.
Tag them. Cut this. Tag them. Say, hey, can we do a tour? Please.
If you have a local business, don't stop people from being able to tag you on social media. Sorry, that frustrated me.
You know the funny thing about a second line?
Yeah.
They're not
They're not going to be first, but they are going to be last because I can't tag them in anything.
No, it's okay. All right, we can close this thing out. We've been at it for longer than I thought we would. Hopefully we had some fun tonight. We'll keep hanging out after if y'all want to. I have no problem. But Jacob, appreciate you for coming on, man. I'll let you get some words in. But you guys, if you don't follow it, I'm shocked. I'll be honest. I mean, my freaking grandmother and like random people I had no idea followed his Instagram. Follow him. He's got, what do you have, 150,000? Put it in the mic. Say it again. 160,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, that is just kudos. The work that goes into that, the years that go into that. Saints players follow him. I mean, it's a big thing. If you don't follow him, breaking news all the time. Amazing. One of the best Saints accounts you can really follow, to be completely honest with you. Anything you want to shout out?
No, it was awesome being here.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time. At Big Easy Nation, everywhere, right? Twitter
and Instagram. Yep.
Okay. Very cool.
Love it.
Anything you want to talk about? Or do you want to close it out?
No, we can close it out, man.
Cool. Follow everything we always talk about. Really, you can find everything at theknow.com. You know where to find us. You're already listening to us. It's at Who Effin' Knows everywhere. That's it. That's all we got. Until next time, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Later.